Good morning, people. Welcome to another Capricares. Know that I care. And guess what? Care that I know. On Wednesday, it's wonderful. And on Wednesday, we're going to always incorporate, the word. And we will do that actually every day. But I'm glad that you are meeting me in this space. We're going to have a marvelous show today. Rocking my cool black dad shirt. Shout out to Sebastian. What is Sebastian's last name? I know it's Sally Beard's nephew. Shout out to him for making the shirt. But anyway, y'all, we about to have a marvelous show. It is Capri Cares. Know that I care. Care that I know. Kendra House. Tell them good morning this morning. Let's make it happen, Ken. Good morning. It's Capri Cares. Know that I care. Care that I know. This is our daily motivation and inspiration for our mental health ministry here at the Ephesian Primitive Baptist Church. It's Capri Cares. Know that I care. Care that I know. Sebastian. All right. I don't know his handles on social media, Kendra. If you know his handles on social media, you are more than welcome to share them. Good morning, Stacy. Stacy is in the house as well. Trying to get everything situated. Listen, y'all. Y'all really had me in a good space yesterday. And I had to function in that space the entire day. And that's a good thing when you have to function in a good space. Because I know we know a lot of people, because of their condition, they're not given that opportunity to function in the space that they need. They are not. Let's see. Kendra says this morning, had to be on here this morning to get this work. Well, Kendra, listen. If your condition is continuing to limit you and your perspective on life, and your condition is something that you just can't automatically change, then thank God that you can change position when your condition does not change. And in life, when we talk about our mental health, our mental well-being, and our mental wellness, we need to make sure that we can gain a true perspective and think with understanding. One of the things I love about that passage is people brought him to a place where his background, listen, where his background was beautiful. They brought him to a place where his background was beautiful. They brought him to a place where his background was beautiful. I'll say it again. They brought him to the gate of beautiful. Now, here's what's painful. Thank you, Kendra, for the information. Here's what's painful. Somebody put in the chat, what's painful? Put in the chat, what's painful? What's painful? Stacy, Kendra, put in the chat, what's painful? Here's what's painful. When people carry you to a place to change only your background and backdrop, but they continue to go into a more blessed experience. I thank you for changing my background and my backdrop, but you are entering into a place that I can't enter into because of my condition. My background changed, my backdrop changed because the gate of beautiful is there. And it's a place really that restricts me and keeps me in a place of perpetual begging. That's what's painful, Stacy. When individuals bring me to a spot and a place to change my backdrop and my background, only for me to beg in a place that does not change my condition. And then you get to enter into a place where you get breakthrough, where you get blessings, but you drop me off. I'm going to ask this question when I already know the answer. Who are you trusting to carry you only to drop you off? Who are you trusting? And then what does that say about my mindset when the people in my life closest to me carry me only to drop me off? Only to drop me off. Good morning, Sister Deborah. Good morning. Get dropped off in a place that changes my background and my backdrop, but not, I do not get the breakthrough that you're getting because where you stopped me, it begins for you. And I have to be very, very intentional that when I get to a place when just my background and my backdrop changes, but it's still a place of bondage and begging for me, and my condition is not changing, I'm going to have to find another relationship to lean on and possibly depend on to get me from the place of shrinkage, the place where I stop, the place of shortage, the place of begging, the place of bondage, because I want to walk in breakthrough. I want to move forward in my breakthrough. And it's difficult for me to move forward in my breakthrough when you keep dropping me off and placing me in front of, or you are making sure my backdrop and my background is beautiful. And let's just be honest, Shannon. Some of us don't have a beautiful background. So I'm grateful for the background. At least the thing behind me or where you place me gives me some type of hope and security. So I'm I'm just in that space where I have to expect. I have to expect. I have to expect what I've been expecting, but also I need to expect something I have not been expecting. So let me just ask this question, Stacy and Shannon and Kendra and Deborah and whoever else is on. What are you expecting? What are you expecting? And have you revisited your past to gain a true perspective, to think with understanding, so that you can expect something else? It's interesting that we get so comfortable in our condition, Kendra, that we expect the negative. I don't expect you to get ahead. I don't expect you to make ends meet. I can't expect you. I can't depend on you to come through for me. That becomes an expectation. And when that becomes an expectation in our lives, then getting the true perspective and thinking with understanding becomes very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So what are you expecting? I don't, I listen, I can't expect it for you and expect you to expect it for you when you're not expecting it for you. And we try to coach people, we try to push people, but they don't have that expectation of themselves. What are you expecting? Thank you, Anna. It's interesting. What are you expecting? And I'm trying my best not to listen, Anna. I'm really trying my best not to lower my expectation, not to lower my expectations of certain individuals, and especially not myself. But let me be on the safe side and say this. I might not lower my expectations, but I might have to change them because I'm thinking with understanding now. And what I'm thinking is what I'm expecting. Even if you're not thinking what I'm thinking, I'm not going to change the way I'm thinking because of the way you're thinking. Yes, and I'm sorry. Sorry, Miss Deborah. I'm not going to change the way I'm thinking because of the way you're thinking. Can't do that any longer. Good morning, Lanika. Got to think what you expect. That's right. And that's part of mental wellness. What are you thinking? And my expectation is built upon my thoughts. So now my thoughts, whatsoever things, come on. How many ways to think? Go to Philippians chapter 4. At least start with those ways in your thinking. You have to start there. Whatsoever things are, whatsoever things are, whatsoever things are, whatsoever things are, whatsoever things are. You, me, them, they. You have to think for you. So now that we can revisit our past, not to go in reverse, but just revisit it to gain a true perspective and think with understanding, I need to be emotionally secure that when I start revisiting my past to think that I can handle some of the decisions that I made in my past that pushed me forward or held me hostage. Because we can be held hostage easily by our past and the decisions we made in our past. And then sometimes we have to we have to move forward from that. Now, all the time we have to move forward. Resolve, come with a resolution. Resolve, rinse. Come on, Tanya Williamson. Rinse, replace, repeat. Like, Kendra, what are you replacing that thought with now? How do you replace that thought? What point in your life do you begin to replace that thought? Because that thought has to be replaced. And that thought can be replaced. And that thought should be replaced. But when you start dealing with individuals and including ourselves, when we do not replace our thoughts, the Bible says, I know the thoughts that I have for you. God thinks about us. Isn't it interesting? The Bible is a thinking book. God says, the thoughts that I have for you. Maybe my prayer needs to be this morning. God, what are you thinking about me today? What are you thinking? And Jesus can help us with that answer because he's our advocate in propitiation. He says, at least as a father, I think I ought to feed you. Give us this day. He taught us to pray that prayer. He teaches us to pray that. So now my thought life should be a reflection of what I hear from God and what I say to God. My thought life now, Lanika, should be a reflection of what I hear from God and what I say to God. My thought life ought to be a reflection of what I hear from God and what I say to God. As the man thinketh in his heart, it's a thought process. And we cannot miss Deborah, Anna, Lanika, Linda, Stacy, Kendra. We don't spend enough time thinking. So therefore, mentally and having mental wellness becomes very difficult because we have not spent enough time with our own thoughts, our thoughts. We always come up with the cliche, what are they thinking? It doesn't matter at this point, Shannon, because I have to spend time with my thoughts. When I rinse your thoughts from my mind, I'm going to have to spend time. I'm going to have to spend time with my thoughts. It's my thoughts that worry me. It's what I think about sometimes, what what you think about too much when I shouldn't be thinking about what you're thinking about. But when I think about what I think about and put the wrong energy into what I'm thinking about, especially when it's not right about me, that becomes my worry. That wears me down and I'm worn out behind it. So now it's my thoughts, Kendra, that's driving me insane. It's my thoughts that prevent me from moving to another position when my condition is not changing. It's my thoughts that hinder the belief system that God has put in me and has given me the wherewithal to stand and have fortitude and faith and fight the good fight of faith. It's my thought. It's not your thought. It's mine. So at some point today, Anna, I need to spend time with what I'm thinking. At some point today, I need to spend time with my thoughts. And Kendra, in the event I have not learned to spend time with my thoughts, what I better not ever do is spend time with somebody else's thinking of me. I should not allow them to live here in my mind and what they think about me for free. It ought to cost them something to live here. It ought to cost them something. Because you ask me why, and sometimes why questions are the wrong questions to ask, but guess what? I can answer this why question. Because it's costing me something for them to live here. And I'm running around chasing people's thoughts when they are not thinking about themselves or even me. Being honest. Good morning, April Fitzgerald. So can you honestly say today you spend adequate time with your thoughts? Or April, are your thoughts so foreign to you that if your thoughts introduced themselves to you, your thoughts would be a stranger to you? Come on, people, come on. This is about reflective thinking. My thoughts should not be a stranger to me. I have to befriend my thoughts. Because if I do not befriend my thoughts, I have to come into sync with what I'm thinking. Because my thoughts, watch this, create my feelings. And my feelings create my actions. My actions create a character. So I need to learn how to think. And I have to learn to spend time with what I think and how I think and the ways I think and how I manage my thoughts. Because my thoughts can get so far away from me, or my thoughts about my condition can become a part of me to the place that what I think about me is not healthy. And I stay on the begging end, needing somebody's attention rather than the blessing and the bouncing end, because I can't activate success and I can't activate healing in my own life because what I thought about me. It's interesting. It gets deep, y'all. So today, at what point are you going to spend time with your thoughts? Somewhere, Kendra, tell your girls on the way to school, I need y'all. Come back into the house. I need y'all to give me a schedule of when you're going to spend time with your thoughts. Good morning, Tangela, all the way from Florida. Or, 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 this is work, y'all. This requires work. Yesterday was real hyped and spiritual and it's still spiritual. But today, I'm still feeling it because I know a lot of people who you trust and you give them too much leeway and they don't spend time enough with their thoughts. And in the event, because of your condition, they need to drop you off. I promise you, they'll drop you off to change only your background and your backdrop while they move forward in life. How many people, honestly, how many people have you changed their background and they backdrop and they move forward without you? Linda, you was there for them. You encouraged them. You helped them. You opened doors for them. Only, only for them to drop you off. And they went on without you. When you were thinking, y'all was in it together. You was my ride or die. That's what we say now. But Kendra, watch ride or die, because I've learned they'll die before they let you ride. They'll let you die before they let you ride. I'm just being honest. So I have to spend enough time with my thinking now. I have to spend enough time with me to make sure, Anna Catlin, that in the event people look at my condition and just want to change my background and my blessing. Excuse me, my background and my backdrop, but don't want to really be a blessing. I better find a way to change my position when I cannot change my condition, because my condition will hold me hostage, Sister Tangela, when my position will take me so much further. And this text conclude. Come on, Kendra, background and backdrop. I can't, my background and backdrop, I can't live from that. I can't live from it. I can't live off of it. So it doesn't matter what's in my background. That's only for a snapshot in a picture. Y'all remember we was kids, we had picture day? Y'all remember picture day? It didn't matter what you look like. Everybody had the same background. Everybody had the same backdrop. Kendra, we got dressed up. We went to picture day April school, April Fitzgerald, and everybody had a backdrop. The backdrop was for the picture. The backdrop didn't change. And when they changed the backdrop, it still didn't do much for the picture, because guess what? Everybody had a backdrop. And what we called that the proof. Y'all remember the proof? You remember the proof? And then you ordered pictures from the proof. I just want to ask you, has your thinking given you proof that your position can outweigh and be better than your condition? Good morning, Renata. I'm closing on this, and I'm asking you today, are you going to spend time with your thoughts? Anna, are you going to gain a true perspective? A true one. A true, and think with understanding. April Fitzgerald, can you think with understanding? Yeah. Can you think? Yes. Some of us can't because we hadn't been taught to think. But can you think with understanding? And now that you're thinking with understanding, can you gain a true perspective? Well, y'all, my time is up. I'll see y'all back here at 12 o'clock for a noonday Bible study, 6 o'clock Bible study. Hey, can you revisit your past to gain a true perspective and think with understanding? Don't live from a place where you got a nice background and backdrop, but you still begging. Don't become a beggar when God is ready to make you bounce back. It's Capricares, y'all. Know that I care that I know, and hold some people accountable in your life today. Hold them accountable. What are your thoughts? What were you thinking? When did you spend adequate time with your thoughts? And we're rocking the Cool Black Dad shirt today, y'all. Cool Black Dad shirt. I think Kendra said Sebastian. I don't know his handles on social media, but I'm giving him a shout out today. And then secondly, hey, Go to Ivy Fluids, Torsha Hudson. Go to Ivy Fluids and get your people flu shots, cold, IVs. She's an RN. We thank God for her partnership and her sponsorship. Make sure that you get the shirt. We can probably get a cool Black Mom shirt too. I don't know. But there he is. We'll find him on social media. I'll hit his auntie up and get his handles for tomorrow. Until tomorrow, folks, know that I care again and care that I know. It's Capricares. It is Capricares. Spend time with your thinking, because guess what? Your thinking is spending time with you. I promise you, it is. Thank you for tuning in to Capricares. Always know this: we care and we know. Know that I care